In 2015, 35-year-old Annie, a respected New York women's magazine editor, appears to have a picture-perfect life. As she prepares to marry her boyfriend Luke Harrison, Annie meets with Aaron Wickersham, a documentary director who wants to make a short film about the school shooting she survived as a teenager. He informs her that a former classmate, Dean Barton, who became a successful writer and advocate for gun control, has agreed to participate. Annie declines to be involved. Luke informs Annie that his firm has offered him an opportunity to move to London and suggests Annie can take an MFA program there to allow her to write for herself. She agrees despite having hopes of someday working at the New York Times. They later have dinner with a couple Luke knows. The husband turns out to be Annie's former teacher, Andrew Larson. In flashbacks to 1999, Annie is seen joining the prestigious Brentley School. She quickly befriends a clique of popular students, including Dean and his friends Liam and Peyton. The film reveals that Annie was gang raped at a party by all three boys while intoxicated. She shared what happened with Mr. Larson, who encouraged her to tell her eccentric mother Dina, but Annie refused. However, she said her friend Arthur had been continuously bullied by the three boys. Annie's past slowly haunts her, affecting her relationship with Luke. Aaron tells Annie that Dean wants to meet with her to apologize on camera. She agrees, under the condition that Aaron keeps them separate until she is ready. Meanwhile, Annie struggles with her strained relationship with her mother, who claims she always found Annie difficult and alludes that she is only marrying Luke for his money. At the documentary filming, Dean shows up unexpectedly early, and Annie flees in a panic. Flashbacks see young Annie struggling to deal with the trauma of what happened to her. Not long after, the school shooting occurred, perpetrated by Arthur and his friend Ben. Peyton and Liam were killed, and Dean was severely wounded and unable to walk. Before the funerals, Dean started a rumor that Annie slept with him and helped Arthur and Ben plan the shooting because he did not want to be her boyfriend. Annie is consequently shunned by everyone, including Dina, who blames her for causing her own rape by drinking and partying excessively. Back in 2015, at publishing his new book, Annie meets with Dean, who shows little remorse for what he did. He threatens to recapitulate his story of her participation in the shooting if she tells anyone. However, when confronted by Annie during the conversation, Dean admits he raped her. Having secretly recorded their conversation, Annie leaves. She decides to share her experience after encouragement from her boss and ends up writing a piece for the New York Times. At their rehearsal dinner, Annie receives the final article, which is about to be published. Much to Luke's dismay, who says he wishes she had dealt with it privately. Annie then confesses she has been using him to hide from her past and decides not to marry him. Annie finally begins to move on. She receives an overwhelming reaction from other women who tell her their stories of sexual assault as she begins her career at the New York Times.